Michael Kaiser's time is not done yet. Ever since Kaiser missed the net after literally stating that the shot he was trying to perform and perfect is supposed to be impossible to make, but God forbid anyone in Blue Lock doesn't make 100% of their shots or else they'll skyrocket to the top of everyone's fraud list. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and today we're going to be talking about, and more so defending, the person who everyone has their eyes on in Blue Lock as of this moment, the God-chosen Emperor, Michael Kaiser, talking about his new shot, the Kaiser Impact Magnus, what this means for Kaiser in the future of Blue Lock, to basically answer one of the most asked questions as of right now in the Blue Lock community, if our guy Kaiser is truly a fraud or not. I guess not really a question because everyone's already going to the lengths of saying that he's a fraud, but without further ado, let's just get straight into this video to defend my boy Kaiser. Now, Michael Kaiser. Ever since the start of the NEL, Kaiser was a very respected player and striker, with even our main protagonist Isagi stating that he surpassed his own ideal plays. Now, in the following game against Manshine City, Isagi kept a very close eye on Kaiser and managed to start to learn about an ability which he still refers to today as Metavision, which is really just enhanced spatial awareness of the entire field and everyone's movements on it. And in his next play, as he intercepted the ball from Nagi, is where we see him start to adapt to this newly attained vision and create a crazy link-up play with Corona to make it all the way upfield to the extent where he almost managed to score his own goal. If it wasn't for Kaiser managing to catch up to this and get in his way of the shooting point, overall messing up Isagi's initial view of his goal that he envisioned for himself, for Kunigami to snatch it at the very last second, making it his own. Now, with two players who see the field at this 4D level, they are bound to meet each other at some point throughout the field at the crucial spot of their own respective plays. And that's exactly what happens. But since the team works on two different philosophies, with Kaiser and Isagi spearheading those ideals of each philosophy, it's like they're constantly against each other, trying to prove which one of them should truly be the king and main striker to lead this team. We see Kaiser try to sabotage Isagi's plays time and time again in the match between both Manshine and Ubers, and we see him do it again to Isagi in the match against PXG after his 2-gun volley goal, in fear that Isagi will soon make him the naked king that he said he'd make him and take Bastard Munich away from him. In chapter 259 of Blue Lock, after Kaiser manages to intercept the pass from Corona to Isagi, getting ready to make a play with Ness, we get a little flashback to before the match where we see Kaiser explaining to Ness about the Magnus Effect. When a player kicks the ball, the air will naturally exert an equal and opposite force back onto the ball. Now, the ball's shot power will increase if the airflow and the ball spins in the same direction, but it will obviously decrease if the airflow and the ball spin are facing the opposite direction. Now, some areas will experience low air pressure than others as the ball spins, creating a type of pressure gradient. And as a result, the ball will have a natural curve towards the side of the ball with lower air pressure. Now, we know that the Kaiser Impact specializes in Kaiser just shooting straight ahead while only prioritizing the speed and power of the shot. But if he puts the two together, he'll manage to intentionally make the ball curve. Now, I don't think a lot of people realize just flat out crazy this shot is in it of itself. The Kaiser Impact is already seen as a crazy terrifying shot due to its overwhelming swing speed that Kaiser is able to pull off, that even Noel Noah states that his shot has him beat. The Kaiser Impact is a shot that has been described time and time again as a lightning fast shot that people even questioned when Kaiser shot the ball and when the ball went into the net. On top of that, the shot being so fast, many defenders and goalies would naturally have trouble trying to time this shot, and generally just saving the shot in general. And his shot against Manshine City is the perfect example of how crazy the shot is in real time, as the ball passed by 5 players in an instant. If he manages to add some curve to the Kaiser Impact without sacrificing the speed and power of it, this could really be an impossible and unpredictable shot, really fitting his character of making the impossible possible. Now, obviously, to a crazy shot comes their downsides, and in this case, the downside to the shot is that it only works as long as the ball is stationary, which is a problem, because in a match, the ball will constantly be moving. And to make matters worse, Kaiser hasn't even been able to pull off this shot while practicing beforehand with Ness. So this attempt of Kaiser's was purely off of impulse and fear that Isagi would end up taking everything away from him. I don't think that people take into account just how much a player's mental state can really affect their plays and just entirely the way that they play in a whole. The reason why Kaiser went off to try and score that goal was to try and prove to everyone that he is still the God-chosen emperor, that he's still the king and leader of Bastard Munich. And the reason that he felt the need to prove that to everybody is that he wanted to let Isagi know that he can't take this team away from him. For example, if you take a look at all of Kaiser's goals throughout the NEL so far, we don't see him in the state of fear that he is now, in the state that he feels the need to prove himself and start acting out impulsively. When we see him acting out impulsively is when we see him starting to choke, starting to mess up, and starting to, seem like a bad player. We can make the same comparison with Baro. When we saw Baro in more of the early stages of Blue Lock, in the U20, or even in the second selection, when he was trying to shoot goals that he'd miss most of the time. And the reason being is that he's acting out more impulsively and not thinking things through and all that. Now, yes, I understand that Kaiser's character revolves around him making the impossible possible, so I can see why him not making this shot that was said to be impossible surprised most people, because it's literally in his character. But remember, it's also the same people that complain about the realism of this manga. If Kaiser actually made the shot, even as a Kaiser fan like myself, I'd agree that that would have been a crazy ass pull of a shot that would have ultimately ruined his character in the long run. Like, I don't think people are putting into perspective that that would have been the first time that he made a shot like that, and it wasn't in practice, and it hasn't been done before in his whole career, and he happened to make that in a clutch moment for himself in the most hyped up game in the NEL. Just like how Ego said that Nagi's 5-shot fake revolver volley was a form of Nagi attaining success above his talent level, it probably would have been the same case if Kaiser made it as well. What I'm just trying to say is that the shot then would have been impossible for Kaiser to recreate, thus affecting his character in the long run, such as the Under-20 World Cup and possibly even the World Cup. We know Kaiser is being set up not only to be a player Isagi has to deal with now in the Neo Egos League, but in the Under-20 World Cup as well. Bringing me to my next topic, what will happen to Kaiser then? Now, I'm trying to make this video without the bias of being a major Kaiser fan, but out of many ways that this could go out, I can see this situation for Kaiser going in two main ways, with one of them being that he doesn't score in this match, giving Isagi a brace or his desired hat trick, and comes back into the equation in the Under-20 World Cup with this shot perfected for the most part. Now, I can see this playing out without it hurting the story and plot so much, but the only thing that is going up against this is the fact that we got Kaiser's backstory. Now, I know getting a backstory doesn't automatically mean you'll score a goal. I mean, Hiyori kind of proved that to us in the last game. But the difference is that Hiyori didn't get into the sport by his own accord, and it wasn't really till recently where he found his love for the sport, specifically in the midfield department. Kaiser, on the other hand, developed a love for the sport at a young age, and we see that in his backstory in chapter 260. We see him get a soccer ball in Treasure, and later on in the chapter, getting asked by Ray Dark, an agent of PIFA, if he loves football. Now, the second way I can see this going about for Kaiser is Kaiser still gets a goal in this match, either with his regular Kaiser impact or manages to get a free kick or something to prove that the Magnus shot can work, but it also gives us something to look forward to, being that obviously with a free kick the ball will be stationary. By going with this, it'll delay this impossible shot till the U20, where he'll get a second chance in showing the world that he truly makes the impossible possible, where the stakes are much higher, giving Isagi someone else to worry about in the World Cup, as well as other players like Charles, Lorenzo, and possibly even Loki. Now, personally, I'm more of a fan of this second theory, being that I think it works in the favor of everyone much more in the long run instead of the first one, except for the dieharded Isagi fans, of course, that really want him to score this hat trick. But other than that, this works in mostly everyone's favor. Now, if you guys have any other theories on how this will go for Kaiser in this match or the U20 Cup, then please let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other things Blue Lock do you guys want me to talk about next on the channel. As Blue Lock Season 2 was just recently announced for October of 2024, we are going all in this time, so y'all better be prepared for that. So, without further ado, I hope you guys do have a great day, and see ya.